Hey guys, what's up? My name is Daniel, also known as Reverend Redneck. I just wanted to do a quick introduction on today's video. And first thing I want to start out talking about is what the channel is going to be about. And primarily, it's about Bible study. That's the overall theme. And the second thing I want to talk about is homelessness. And in order to make it productive, my first goal is to get 1,000 subscribers. I need 1,000 subscribers to monetize the channel in order to keep going in this kind of capacity. And as the channel grows, I'll make some memberships and we can do some day-to-day stuff, and then we'll do some more intense Bible study with our members. Really, what you need to do is like and subscribe. I know it's not beautiful and I know it's not perfect, but over time I'm going to get better, and we'll kind of grow together, really. So what I really plan on doing is maybe doing 2 videos a day. One video is going to talk about the practical side of Bible study as it relates to homelessness, homeless people, how to help homeless people using the Bible and apologetics. And it's not just for homeless people. I mean, apologetics is effective for any kind of situation. That's really our goal, is to teach people the Bible, to make disciples out of people, and teach them the Bible to grow in their knowledge of God and become a productive Christian brother or sister in Christ, no matter what somebody's situation is. So right now I'm going to do this video and talk about some things in homelessness first. I was going to do some, and I might go ahead and throw some pictures in here. Homelessness is a crisis, really. You want to talk about a real pandemic. Homelessness is a true crisis in the United States, really around the world, but it's also a difficult problem to solve, primarily because there's so many different types of homelessness. You see people that are homeless that sleep just anywhere in the grass, with whatever backpack or whatever it is that they have. And you don't know why they're homeless or how they got there, but that's really, really not important right now. But how do you help those people? Because that person has different needs than somebody who's like myself. I'm homeless. I don't have a house. I live out of my minivan. I have very limited resources, which is why I need you to like and subscribe to this channel and help me grow, so possibly start making some extra money to support my efforts and the things that I'm doing with this channel, with school. I'm in 2 different college programs right now. I'm thinking about doing some traveling, but anyway, you can be involved with that and see how I interact with homeless people in particular. So one of the things that you can do for a homeless person is give them some food. Giving them money I'm not going to tell you not to do that. I personally don't do it. Here's what I do. I have, when I see a homeless person, I know that they're homeless, I try to approach them and kind of see where they are, talk to them for a minute, let them know that I see them, that they're an important part. They were important enough for me to come and say hello to and talk to and kind of check on their circumstances. And there's some people that you run into that are very open, and then there's some people that are very closed, and you have to kind of just gauge the situation. So, for instance, a couple of weeks ago, I was down at the local convenience store, and there was a guy. He was just asleep on the side of the building, sleeping there. And so what I do is I carry some food. I have some of it's my food that I planned on for myself, but some of it is food that I keep. So I took like a Walmart bag, and I put in a can of ravioli and a bag of chips and something to drink. And usually, if you want to get some of those little Gatorades, or usually what I get are these Carnation instant breakfast drinks, because they're good, they're healthy, and they're kind of like a meal in themselves. And that's a lot of times what a homeless person is missing is good nutrition. You can't just give them a bag of chips and tell them to go about their way. I mean, you can, but it doesn't make any sense. But usually what I do is I ask them, I say, hey, have you eaten today? And if they say no, then I give them this bag, and it's got some of this in there, and it's got some kind of like a bag of chips, a can of ravioli, something like that, something that they can just open and eat. It's not, doesn't necessarily need to be heated up. I mean, yeah, I know it's designed to be heated up, but I've eaten tons of ravioli and these spaghetti dinners that I'll show you at some point in the future what you can get that you can keep. Like, you just keep a bag in your car and keep, like one of those or a Gatorade and uh, something, some substance like a can of ravioli, a bag of chips, maybe some package of cookies or something like that. But here's another really important thing that I also give. I give these books. And this one is, you can get them at ptl.org. This is from the Pocket Testament League. You can buy them. You really should buy them, but if you can't afford them, you can create an account and you can have somebody else pay for your order and they'll send them to you. So like if you're driving down the road or whatever and you come across, somebody, asking for money at the street light or whatever, instead of giving them money, you can give them one of these. And what it is the Gospel of John. And it comes in several different versions: King James, New King James. I think this one is English Standard Version. I can't remember, but it's the Gospel of John, and it has in it a plan of salvation. It's really good stuff. And if a person doesn't have a Bible, it will give them something to read. Now, granted, the print's pretty small, but it's better, in my opinion, to give something like this. It's got a plan of salvation, talks about sin, man's sin, and a relationship to God, and they're really good. They're really good to hand out. I just keep a handful of them in my door pocket, and I put them in these bags that I give homeless people when I run across them. I give them some spiritual food, I give them some real food, and I talk to them about Jesus. But as far as like pulling them out of the street, it's probably not going to happen. Something that you might could look into is homeless services for the area that you're in. I mean, if you run into a lot of homeless people. Another place that you find a lot of homeless people you may not realize is at Walmart. Now, these people are a little bit difficult to spot, and I'm gonna throw up a couple of pictures real quick and let you see what you can kind of look for. But these people are a little bit more difficult to catch, because what you don't really want to do is they live out of their car, kind of like I am. And some of them have nicer cars, and some of them have, really bad cars. But what you'll see is they'll have in front of their windows, all their windows will be blocked off, usually. Not always, but a lot of times they will. Like if you go to Walmart late in the evening, like Walmart's closed, or late at night, you go to Walmart, just drive through the parking lot and have a look at the cars. The ones that are parked out on the outer edges or in the remote parking lot, something like that. A lot of times you'll find homeless people that are living in their cars, and they don't necessarily look homeless. They look like just any other person, just like you and I, only they may not have any resources or may have very limited resources. But these are great people to talk to, but just a word of caution: be very careful approaching them, because what you don't want to do is just go up and knock on their window, because they might be asleep. I know one guy, he parks close to where I do, and he's got a full-time job. He just doesn't make enough money to have a house or an apartment or anything. He's low paid and, some other circumstances, but he sleeps during the day. And if you go wake him up, you might make him mad. So if you see somebody out of their car or in and out of their car, then you can probably go and talk to them. Just be really cautious. Be super respectful, because they're already defensive. They're already thinking that you're going to kick them off the lot or give them a problem or something like that. Be their friend. That's really all you can do. Some of them are on drugs. Some of them are alcoholics. Some of them are like me, and they're not. I know several people that are just they're just homeless. I mean, they don't have a home. And a lot of them don't have a job. It's just a domino effect. You start going downhill, and next thing you know, your last resort's living in your car, and that may not even be the last, because if their car breaks down, a lot of people that living out of their cars probably need car work. So if you have the resources, you might consider, hey, is there anything you need? If you're really going to help them, you know, money may not always be the best thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you find out if they have something wrong with their car, they need brakes. I can't do that kind of stuff, but I know that you're out there. I know that people are out there that can say, hey, I know your car brakes are bad, or something's wrong with your car and it needs to be fixed. Well, do that. Fix it for them and give them the gospel. You're not going to change everybody. You're going to reach some, but really that's totally up to God. God changes people. It's our responsibility to give out the message. So you go and give out that message. You be a neighbor to, no matter what that person, if they're drunk or high or whatever, or just you might find out over a period of time, if you see the same person at the Walmart, make a friend, find out what their situation is, and kind of help move along. There's a great deal of hopelessness that goes along with being homeless, because some of them are college educated, but they've lost a teacher's certificate, and there's just one compound problem after another, so they're hopeless. They can't solve one problem because of all these other problems. So it's really a difficult problem. So when you see these people, just approach them with caution. Don't go and just bang on their car if you think they're in there. If you see them, get in their car, that's one thing. Or if you're passing by and they're sitting around their car or whatever, that's totally something different. But they're human beings, and we're supposed to treat each individual person as created in the image of God, no matter what they're doing right now, whether they're Muslim or whatever their religious beliefs are, or whatever sin that they're in, because this is a period of time when God is seeking the lost. You're not going to find a bank president homeless in a parking lot that would accept the message about Christ. But somebody that is hopeless and needs hope, that's the exact message that they need. You just have to approach people with caution, be prepared. You have to be a good theologian to be able to talk to people about Christ. Nevertheless, make sure that you give the gospel that's found in 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 4. I like to throw in verse 4 because Jesus was witnessed alive by the apostles and all the people at the time. So as I'm beginning to wrap this video up right now, I'm going to do another video here in just a minute whenever I get through kind of putting this video together and editing. I'm going to do a second video, and what I'm going to do with that video is talk about so I mentioned that I'm in a master's program for Bible and theology, and what I'm doing right now is called a synthetic Bible study. So I'm going through the Bible and I'm summarizing every chapter of the Bible and noting how it relates to other parts in the Bible, previous parts, not future. So I'm looking backwards and not forwards. But right now I'm in the book of Psalms, and I might eventually go back and work, begin again through Genesis. But right now I think I'm in Psalm 133, and I'll do 5 verses. So check that video out too. Like and subscribe, join. Let's get me all of the followers that I need to monetize my channel. My goal right now is to have 1,000 by July. I want 1,000 followers by July. So like, subscribe, and that way when I post videos. I'm going to try to post a couple of videos a day, just chronicling my life as a homeless person and my life as a Christian. Combine those two into what I study, and let's talk about that. So thank you for watching.